Ladies and gentlemen in the crypto space, I hope you're all having a wonderful day. Just now we got ourselves a new speech from the chairman of the Federal Reserve, Jerome Powell. And honestly, my time zone was a little bit messed up, which is why I missed it. I think it might still actually be going on right now as we speak. But I think the biggest highlights are that the Fed Chair Jerome Powell says don't expect interest rate cuts until more confidence on inflation. And a couple minutes ago, quote, given the strength of the economy and progress on inflation so far, we have time to let the incoming data guide our decision on policy. If the economy evolves broadly as we expect, most FOMC participants see it as likely to be appropriate to begin lowering the policy rate at some point this year. Bullish. But anyway, whilst that is interesting and all, and there's a lot of more interesting things coming up very shortly here, especially over the next few days, over the next few hours, matter of fact, only 1 hour for me recording this video, so you gotta be a little bit quick. I am hosting a little crypto giveaway. All you gotta do is go to my Telegram or the Twitter, just go take a look at this post, and over the next hour or so, I'll decide exactly how we're going to pick the winners. But I'm basically just giving one soul away, which is about $200. So just for fun today, because I sometimes have to remember my whole crypto journey, the majority of it also started because I won a crypto giveaway. So I should do them more often. And I think the last one I did might have been the $10,000 one, which was a long time ago. It's time we bring the spirit back. So today, $200 to just 10 random people. Let's go. Now, starting it off, I'll quickly say that today, all of a sudden, the market is back in a very, very significant green with the airdrop champion 𝗓𝗓, which by the way, I made a whole video for, but for some reason I decided to not release it. But anyway, just to get the point across, this was just airdrop to everybody that basically used the protocol before. And it went from, I think, 60 or so cents on launch to right now $1.20 over the past 24 hours, with now a fully diluted value, meaning all the tokens that exist times the price being at roughly 20 billion projects. So it just launched and it's already one of the absolute biggest projects in the game. Matter of fact, it is bigger than Shiba Inu, a lot bigger than Polkadot, and you get the idea. The only reason I bring it up is because many people don't realize that just because crypto is still so small and a lot of institutions haven't joined yet, doesn't mean that the moment that some of them decide to do so, the whole standard that we perceive to be a big crypto is going to shift. I mentioned before that I think there will be $25 billion, if not $100 billion goofy coins, potentially this cycle, for sure the next cycle, but let's just this cycle already. And a lot of people can't fathom that because right now 25 billion is Dogecoin, right? As the 8th biggest crypto. But I said in a cycle, usually everything does a pretty good return, but at least goes a whole, like a shift upwards. And I believe to get this bottom to be, let's just say 10 billion or so, so a 10x across the board here for most coins, I don't think is that far-fetched. I don't think it's that crazy to assume or say. But more importantly, that just some of the tokens will actually be in the real high tens of billions for not really having too much going on, because some of the more top coins, some of the more established ones will be in the hundreds of billions because they've got proper backing. Imagine, for example, that BlackRock or Apple or Samsung, just to name a few, fully go for a cryptocurrency. How much would it then be worth, right? Well, probably a whole lot. Hence, I keep saying that right now, 25 billion being such a huge crypto, that's all going to change. But a little bit in our shorter term vision, what's coming up? Well, we've got ourselves in exactly 1 week from now, the core inflation rate, and obviously just the normal inflation rate. I kind of wanted to make a video telling you guys what's going to happen tomorrow, but it was on my Malaysian time still. And so it said that this was going to happen Thursday. I didn't really look at the time too much. I just thought, hey, it's happening tomorrow. And now I set it back to Dubai time and noticed, hey, wait a minute, it's already going on. Now, theoretically speaking, in 2 days from now, unemployment rate sometimes can also be interesting, but I'm mostly just looking out for the inflation numbers and the FOMC minutes, which are coming out next week. And like usual, Fed Powell's speech today, it really wasn't that crazy either. What has been crazy though is our bots. Dude, I'm just really almost in shock with how good these bots turn out. By the way, this is over on Bybit. I've got a link for that in the description down below. It's the exchange I always use for anything. Well, I didn't use it for bot trading before, but I just made this for fun a little while back on my trading channel, and I kept it open for what? Yeah, let's see, a little bit over 69 days, a little over 2 months now. And you can see my $100 that I put in, I just put into bot, I never touched it again, has brought me in about $300 worth of profit. My under $100 and my under $105 brought me in $167 and $170 respectively. And so all I'll say is don't underestimate these bots, guys. They can apparently be really juicy. Talking about things you should be remembering, I have already said it many times, and I think the majority of you guys are now used to my words when it comes to this, but if you're ever in doubt about whether or not crypto can really go even higher up than where we are at right now, I'd like you to zoom out. Consider we are, for example, in either this leg upwards here from the beginning of 2017 to, let's say, the end of 2017, or perhaps a different example, the top that we saw in 2021 and then the top later. Wherever we are, consider it, and then realize that wherever that would be, we're going so much higher. Especially, in my opinion, when you start considering that the Bitcoin halving is only like 2 weeks out. Like, we used to say, oh, just buy before the Bitcoin halving, but all of a sudden it is there. Like, the Bitcoin halving used to be only a year more, and now it's literally here in a week or two. Those things are sometimes shocking, just how fast life can go. Anyway, there was something else that I think a lot of you guys might have missed that was really interesting yesterday. There was so much fake news going around for a little bit, but here's the rundown. Silk Road, if you don't know, maybe look it up. Silk Road Bitcoin, worth roughly $2 billion, were apparently moved by the US government, and the last confirmed sale by the government was in late 2022, where they sold roughly 216 million coins. Right now, this move is not expected as a sale, but it's expected as, rather than a sort of a move or a test. Then again, there are a lot of articles going out that some of the 2,000 that were being moved here were also sold yet again. So whereas before 10,000 Bitcoin for 260 million, now it could be 2,000 Bitcoin for roughly 140 million because 2,000 Bitcoin moved to a Coinbase wallet and the rest was still in a reportedly government wallet. And there was some speculation that that's what caused prices to fall, but we at the end of the day don't really know. All we know is that there are a lot of sleuths out there who posted that regardless of the government selling things, the price really didn't falter too much. And all that brings me to so many more points, man. One of those being when I look at the outflows of Bitcoin from the institutions, because there's so much fear surrounding that. Because, this institution has actually got some outflows. Every ETF has some outflows. Even Vanguards, they see outflows. It's part of life. People keep saying, this is it. This is the biggest we'll ever get. And I keep referring back to this. People are saying we're late in the cycle, but Bitcoin is one of the only cryptos that has breached the all-time high. You have to dream, in my opinion, right? You have to dream so much bigger. Like I was just referring to when I said zoom out. And now I'll talk about this more in depth a little bit later. I'll probably do another top coin video of sorts really, really shortly where I dive into why I'm holding what to greater detail. But man, almost every single real world asset coin or meme coin that I got into recently has just been absolutely popping off. And the AI and deepen section, quite similar. DeFi is a little bit more of a slippery slope. It's a lot harder to get into. But a good example is this coin. I showed you guys at what, right? I think somewhere right. I think like the 2nd of February or 3rd of February, 4th of February. But potentially it was like right here, the price, 0.0029. So that was, for every cent, you could basically get 3, if not 4. Right now, 1 is worth roughly 9 cents. There's another coin that I've been talking about for a long time that hasn't really gone for a meteoric rise this month, but if we look and zoom out ever so slightly, we can see just how well it's done in the recent past year. So it's got the momentum, and again, it makes sense because it's like in the AI, real-world asset space. But when I talked about Neopen like a while back, I think every single person who got in and did a little bit of research would be extremely happy with the results. And this one is very much loved over in Korea. I think for the most part, just in the Asian markets, a lot of the West doesn't even know about it yet. Then again, a part of it is also DeFi, which is why I kind of like this little top overview, because a lot of coins might hit these certain boxes, like, oh, we work in the real-world asset space, or we're AI. At the end of the day, it's just a DeFi protocol, though, that facilitates a lot of different things. I think I would have liked to see oracles in this little list of sorts as well, to see how good they have done over the recent past year. Because at the end of the day, you need projects that kind of connect things together. When we refer to real-world assets, what exactly do we mean? Anyway, the whole sector, I just keep on buying because I know that we'll basically see another massive cycle. Things are going to shift over from whatever's happening now, all this garbage of you being uncertain about things, to just full sending everything, where every single time you take a look at your screen, it's all just green bubbles like this. And you might look at me and say, Dusty, how do we know this is going to happen? Well, at the end of the day, you don't really know for sure. But in my head, right, my head, which might be completely stupid and out of touch with reality, it's very much possible. But in my head, there's no way it's not going to happen. In my head, there's no way we won't hypercycle, we won't go crazy, we won't see altcoins just flourish and thrive with just crazy green all across the board for days in a row. And because I've got that certainty, it's just very easy for me to do my daily buys and to just be enthusiastic every single day because, as I stated just now, I have an expectation of what's about to happen next and are preparing for it. And many people, they're still stuck in this mindset of, oh, it might go crumbling back down right now. I don't have that a single second. I personally think if we look back at this in just 5 months or so, everything will be so much higher. And I say 5 months is an arbitrary number. It could already be way bigger in just a week or two. I mean, usually in the past, things only started popping off right after the halving, which a lot of people are also forgetting. Right now, we've just basically cycled a lot quicker, but I think if we look into the near future, damn, will we be higher? Damn, will we be higher? And the only question you might ask yourself is, which exact coins do I hold for the cycle? Which exact coins do I hold for the most amount of the gains? And that's where I always come back to saying, just hold multiple. You don't know which is going to be the one, but as long as you follow my videos, you will know that I'm not a financial advisor, but we tend to pick some really juicy ones. And if you only watch my top coin videos, you'll miss out because there's a lot of context that I give in videos like this to supplement the top coin videos, because a top coin video, unless you're talking about like 25 of them, is still very, very, very situation dependent. And I never recommend anybody, I'm not your financial advisor, but it's just a personal recommendation, to only hold like 1 or 2 coins because you don't know what you don't know. Maybe those guys really messed up and they're really just going to go down the ship with the ship. Probability is pretty small in a bull market, like we saw with FTX. In the bull market, they did really, really well. But you just don't know for sure. And for that reason, I always say buy at least 5, probably buy at least 10. Some of my friends, though, that are also extremely wealthy, they only buy 5 out of principle, so it's easier to manage. And again, it also depends. Are you a trader? Are you more of a speculator? Are you more of a degenerate with the meme coins and stuff? Anyway, I also had a whole airdrop video that I've already made that I, for some reason, have not uploaded just because I'm too lazy to make the thumbnail and because it's slightly outdated because Athena already launched. But I'll probably still get the airdrop video tutorial to you guys out, probably somewhere today or tomorrow at the latest. And I'll tell you once more, don't sleep on those, because even sometimes with very, very little money, you can win tons, and there's a ton of different ways to do things for free. But second of all, make sure you check out my little giveaway of sorts. I know it's only $200. To some people, it is nothing. To some people, it's a whole lot. Don't care. If you don't want to join, please do not join then. But I think a lot of people would be extremely happy, because if I think back, I would have been extremely happy if somebody gave me like $10, $20 a couple years ago. And whereas now I don't need that. If somebody just hands you $20, it's still $20, you know? I'd still be grateful. But on the opposite side, I think this could be the start for some people that they need. And I want to do more of these. Just sometimes help people kickstart their career to buying, for example, the first coin or whatever. And previous time, for example, when I gave $10,000 away to 5 people, or 10, not to 10 people, I kind of, well, I wouldn't say regret, but if I had to do it again, I'd probably do a smaller amount to, let's say, 100 or perhaps 200 people. So you can just, even though you're helping them less, it helps them, or it helps more, I guess. Because a lot of people that already are wealthy enough, they won't participate, they don't care. But for, like I just said, for a lot of the small fries to like 20, 50 bucks, it can be life-changing, I think. Yeah, good stuff. It's a crazy time in crypto. Every single day I look at it, I think, what? I just get amazed by how crazy this space is. And the funniest part is, I don't think it's stopping anytime soon. But yeah, like I said at the start, if you want to trade crypto, you can check the links out down below. I also have a link to a VPN. I also have a link to all my other socials, which you might want to check out. If you don't, no worries. That's about it.